Hello, and welcome to Summer School Orientation. This presentation is intended for summer-only staff members. We are so excited to have you on our team this summer. The next section of the video reviews procedures and expectations. A copy of this document will be shared to you by your summer school principal. The first section addresses hours of arrival and departure. Please keep in mind that reporting hours vary for professional staff and paraeducators and also vary by location. Section number 2 addresses the arrival time for students. Students using wheelchairs are dismissed prior to students who walk to their bus. The third section outlines appropriate attire. Please keep in mind that we are a school, not a camp program. Please dress comfortably but appropriate. The fourth section addresses the pay periods. Checks will be distributed on July 25th, August 8th, and August 22nd. Payment will be via direct deposit. Section number 5 addresses bus arrivals. All staff must report for bus duty with class list and a bus map for the first week. So classroom teachers and paraeducators, it is imperative that for the first week you have a list that includes the first and last name of each student as well as their home district. And on that first day, you're also going to want a piece of paper and something to write with, because when you locate your student, you should record the bus number that they arrive on. You're going to want to record the bus number and the bus company. Sometimes a student's district is not evident from the bus that they arrive on. For example, Newburgh uses different transportation companies. A Newburgh student may arrive on a Visconti bus, or they may arrive on a George M. Carroll bus. And it is important that you notice what company the bus is and record that. Section number 6 is student breakfast and lunch schedule. Breakfast and lunch are available daily free to all students. The cafeteria will offer tray service. Students may also bring a bagged lunch if they would like. A copy of the menu will be emailed to you and should be sent home with students on the first day of summer school. Section number 7 addresses student attendance. Student attendance is completed in School Tool. If a student does not show on your class list in School Tool or in IEP Direct, please see your principal or program secretary immediately. Attendance will need to be entered into School Tool by the classroom teacher daily by 9 a.m. In the event that the classroom teacher is absent, a classroom paraeducator would need to call the program secretary by 9 a.m. to report student attendance. Section 8 addresses absences. Summer school will run from July 7th through August 15th. Daily attendance is expected. For any staff absence, call your principal's office prior to your reporting time. Your placement letter indicated your supervising principal, and this document includes a list of all the principals supervising summer school this year, along with their contact information. Please make sure to state your assigned program when you call in for your absence. Section 9 addresses related services. All services should begin immediately. Related service logs must be kept current. Classroom teachers will receive digital schedule boards outlining the providers that will be servicing students in their classroom and the times that they are scheduled to provide these services to the students in your class. Section 10 addresses letters of introduction. Teacher introductory letters should be approved by the supervising principal prior to sending them home. Support staff should also be sending home introductory letters to parents at the start of the program within the first 2 days. Section 11 addresses communication. While introductory letters are a first step in establishing positive home-school relationships, communication notebooks should be used if a student has already been using one. I would have a conversation with the family to determine their preferred method of communication. Some parents prefer written communication in a notebook, others prefer emails, and others may use the Class Dojo app. So I would let the parent preference dictate your mode of communication for the summer. Section 12 addresses confidentiality. Absolutely no disclosure of student information with unrelated personnel. You should not be speaking about students, features, or any details about a student to anyone outside of their educational team. So with that being said, classroom paraeducators, if you are alone with a student, you should immediately communicate any concerns directly to the classroom teacher. Section 13 addresses student records. Only teachers and support staff are to have access, and each person must sign forms in the student's files. This form should be inside the front pocket of the student's file. If the form is not there, please let the secretary know. Section 14 addresses medications. Medications are issued by the health office only. This includes aspirin and over-the-counter medications. Section 15 addresses ID badges. All staff are required to wear their ID badge daily. If you do not have an ID badge prior to the first day of summer school on July 7th, prepare to arrive early so you can visit one of the tables set up outside the building to collect your ID badge. You will need to present your government ID to attain your ID badge on the first day. Section 16 addresses evacuation drills. There will be at least 2 evacuation drills during the summer session. It is imperative that every staff member leaves the building during these drills and follows the directives of the supervising principal. Section 17 addresses telephone calls. Emergency calls only should be coming in through the program offices. Messages will be left in your mailbox. Cell phones are not to be used during work hours except during breaks or lunch. Section 18 addresses accidents, incidents, and physical interventions. Complete accident forms immediately after an accident, incident, or physical intervention. All forms must be completed before you go home and handed to your principal on the day of the incident. Section 19 addresses parking. Please get here early. Park only in designated parking spaces or you may be ticketed or towed. Section 20 addresses performance. Staff performance and attendance is observed by administrators and used as criteria for future summer school employment. Now we are going to cover the medical portion of orientation, and the first topic is blood-borne pathogens. Blood-borne pathogens are infectious microorganisms in human blood that can cause disease in humans. So the best way to prevent contact with any blood-borne pathogen is to wash your hands frequently. Wear your gloves and wash hands between glove changes, and notify your program nurse if you do come in contact with blood or bodily fluids or sustain an injury that causes broken skin. So it's best to always utilize universal precautions, and that means treating all blood and bodily fluids as if they are contaminated. The next topic is sunscreen. So the sunscreen guidance for our programs is as follows. Some students may carry and use sunscreen with written permission from a parent. Students who are unable to communicate effectively using either their voice, writing, or assistive tech device are not allowed to carry sunscreen. They require a written permission form from their parent and a provider's note so that unlicensed personnel may apply the sunscreen. Here, you'll see an example of a medical emergency form. These forms will be sent home to all students either right before the start of school or on the first day of summer session. The expectation is that the originals are sent to the health office, and the classroom would keep either a digital or hard copy for themselves. This is very important. You should know the first and last names of the students and your room number, especially when accompanying them to the health office for medication or for an office visit. This is also important to know when you're taking a student out to their bus. My recommendation is that you type up all of this information and slide it into the back of your ID, because your ID is going to be worn anytime you're in the building, and that way the information will be readily available. This next slide addresses the heat index. There are specific guidelines regarding the feels-like temperature that we have to follow. You will be notified if there is an alert or warning for the day by announcement. For a heat index greater or equal to 95 degrees, all outdoor activities are suspended and only indoor activities in air conditioning will be permitted. When the heat index is 91 to 95 degrees, the recommendation is to drink plenty of water and take breaks every 15 minutes and to decrease outdoor time. When the heat index is between 86 and 90 degrees, you are to monitor for heat intolerance, which would be excessive or no sweating. For a heat index of 80 to 85 degrees, again, monitor for heat intolerance, also tiredness or panting. And when it is under 80 degrees, full activities may resume outside. During the school day, the first thing you should do is check a child's backpack and their notebooks. The notebooks are a method of communication that many parents utilize. Some prefer email, but oftentimes the classroom staff are the first to know any relevant medical information. You should always be bringing any relevant information directly to the health office. If students arrive with crutches, a cast, a sling, stitches, or a wrap on any part of their body, please let the health office know. You'd be surprised how many injuries go unreported. Please share any information from the parent with the health office, whether verbal or written. Any changes in medication, new providers, visits to the emergency room, head trauma, and pretty much anything that can impact students, the health office needs to know. The confidential list can be found in the health office. Discuss with your program nurse. The confidential list includes any information about a student that is covered under HIPAA, but also necessary for staff to know so they can monitor for appropriate symptoms. So the next topic is a very serious topic. It's anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a serious, life-threatening allergic reaction. The most common anaphylactic reactions are to food, insect stings, medication, and latex. Here are some of the signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis. I'll give you a moment just to scan the chart. Some of the common causes of anaphylaxis include bites from bees, wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, and fire ants. And also the consumption of some of the following food types: peanuts, milk, eggs, shellfish, food additives, and anything made from latex. If any of our students show signs of this potentially life-threatening event, call the nurse immediately. Students with identified allergies may be assigned an auto-injector. Whenever a student has an allergy to bees, wasps, hornets, etc., please have someone in the classroom trained in the use of an auto-injector so they may accompany the student outdoors with the tool commonly referred to as an EpiPen. auto injector training will be held in the health office during the first week of summer school. If you do take an auto injector outside during recess, please make sure all auto injectors are returned to the health office directly and not to the mailbox after outdoor recess. And finally, we have our last topic of active supervision. Active supervision is of paramount importance for student safety. Please be sure to always watch the children closely. It's better to prevent an accident than to have to care for an injured student. That concludes our summer school orientation. We are so happy to have you with us this summer. If you have any questions, please contact your program principal. Thank you.